Good morning everyone. I just thought I would make a short video on fitting this, which is a bracket, on my 2021 Triumph Tiger 900 GT Pro. It's a bracket that I'm going to put behind the windscreen to hold the Quadlock mirror mount, so I can mount my mobile phone, which when I go touring I use a mobile phone as a GPS. So I'll walk over to the bike and I'll just explain quickly what I'm going to do. So the standard bracket, this one here behind the windscreen, this is the OEM one that comes with the bike. I discovered after I bought the Quadlock that the mounts for it won't fit on the bracket because the bracket's too thin. So these mounts here, different size ones, to cater for different width bars to mount, or to mount it on a mirror. I've discovered that this here is too thin for even the thinnest of the rubber mounts. I have previously mounted the GPS here with the Quadlock, and it does work well. However, if I put a tank bag, if I mount a tank bag here on the tank, I can't see the GPS. Also, I'd rather it in the line of sight instead of looking down and then looking up. I'd rather be looking up all the time and have the phone here. I thought I'd solve the problem by putting some electrical tape. I've just put round and round and round electrical tape there to see if I could widen the bar. But it didn't work because as soon as I tightened these rubber mounts, they just spun on the tape. So what I did was I went online and I went to one of the online purchasing sites and got this Chinese knockoff. I believe a guy in England did one for himself, and I've seen that on a bike site that I'm on, membership site for Triumph Tiger 900. It looks like the Chinese have stolen his idea, but anyway, I couldn't find the link to, I couldn't find the guy in the UK, otherwise I would have bought off him. So what I've done is I've gone on and got the Chinese knockoff one. So I'm just going to put the phone down while I open up the container. So this is the new bar. You can see it's quite a deal thicker than the other one. They've given you two bars actually, but this one looks the same width as the OEM one that I've already got on the bike. It comes with two brackets and some washers and screws to screw it on. So I'm going to remove the windscreen and then I'll remove the bar that's there. I'll turn the camera off while I do that because you don't really need to see that. So I'll be back shortly after I've done it. Well, as you can see, I've removed the windscreen, place it down here, and the 4 screws that held it in place. And it's just a case of taking off this OEM bracket and fitting the new one. Well, I've discovered that the thicker of the two brace bars, supporting bars, the thick one is just way too thick. You can see the Quadlock that I've got to fit around the bar, it's just not going to do it. So luckily they've sent us a small one and that should do the trick. So I'll fit it to that. Well, I've fitted the Quadlock brace onto the smaller bar, and it fits perfectly. I had to use the middle rubber bung, I suppose you'd call it. The middle size one fitted perfectly, so nothing's going to rotate on that. So now it's a case of mounting this bar on the two brackets that are provided, and then putting the windscreen back. So I've assembled the bracket and it mounts onto here. And then I should just have to reattach the windscreen. So let's do that. Well, I've successfully mounted it. I have my spare phone in there, which I use exclusively as a GPS these days. And it looks very good. Mounted clearly past the windscreen. I've had the windscreen up and down, which is no problem. I have the windscreen on the second highest adjustment. It's got one more. I found that if I had the windscreen on the very lowest, that the bottom of the phone or the GPS impinged about half an inch or 1 inch on the TFT screen. Didn't touch, but when I was sitting on the bike, I couldn't quite see the top of the TFT screen without tilting this up. And that defeats the purpose of it, because then I can't see it clearly. So as long as I run it on the second bottom, third bottom and top of the 4 adjustment slots, as long as I don't use the bottom when I'm using the GPS, I'm fine. So let's see what it looks like when I sit on the bike. Perfect. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope this helps at least one person. Bye for now, and I'll catch you in the next video.